You don't have control of your emotions control you. And that can lead to so many problems.
To manage his emotions, I then was like, oh, I'll gaslight him.
After starting intermediate, which is 11 years old here in New Zealand, I basically stopped talking. Never said another word in class.
Yeah, right now I'm feeling shame. I'm feeling embarrassment.
I'm not.
That's great for Jerry.
One of the clearest things I remember about my childhood is that it was full of fear.
Are you ashamed when, like, my lempi hin ho and I just keep asking people stuff?
Honestly, sometimes that rears up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, stop bothering.
Kia ora everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Riverwall podcast. I'm Jessie.
And I'm Jerry. Sorry, give me a second. Okay.
Did you want to start again?
No, keep it in, G. It's all good. No. Today on the podcast, we are starting a 3-part series on different emotions. Right? Why are we talking about emotions?
I guess it's something that all of us experience. I think for a lot of people, myself included, it was like I was emotional, but I didn't really understand my emotions, and I wasn't really in touch exactly with how I was feeling. I had 2 categories: it was good or bad, and that was about it. And so, like, learning about your emotions, why you feel certain emotions, what causes certain emotions in yourself, that is a real big key to unlocking more wisdom about yourself. And in doing so, then you're able to deal with so many more situations, basically. And I think, you know, either you control your emotions or your emotions control you.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, we all have emotions, right?
Yeah.
God has emotions. They're a great thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, if you don't have control of your emotions control you. And that can lead to so many problems, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, we'll talk about it more in the coming episodes, I guess, but it's super important. And I guess emotions are tied with memories.
Yeah, right? I don't remember much, as you know. Like,
especially for you. Eh?
My memory is very selective.
Yeah.
But the memories I have, you know, I can all tie specific emotions to them. They just heighten it in my brain. And it's scientifically proven.
Yeah.
But I guess as part of why we want to talk about emotions is because they are not necessarily the most reliable historians.
No.
Right.
Yeah, they're very subjective, right?
Yeah.
There's a great saying, or like, is it a saying? I don't know, I've heard it somewhere. So, that your emotions are true, right? Like what you're feeling is real, but it's not necessarily the truth, right? So, yeah.
Cool. That's all you wanted to say on that one?
For now.
Okay. You're still getting into it?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I guess that was, you know, a brief rundown about why we wanted to have the series and look at different emotions. And we're obviously not going to cover every single emotion. But we've selected a few that I guess we feel like we can speak into, and that we have experience in.
Yeah.
And they're not all, you know, negative emotions.
Yes.
I think we're going to end with
the positive ones.
And how to cultivate those ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, like for us, I think it was just picking some that we've really had a journey with.
Yeah, and I guess the ones we picked are quite universal too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all humans, no matter what culture you're from, these are the universal, like, basic emotions, right? And it affects everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And so today we're talking about shame and fear.
Yes. Shame and fear. Shame. You wrote that article on shame. What is shame and what is your first deep experience of it? Sorry, I'm just... It's okay, blooper reel. It's okay, blooper reel. it's okay.
Let me just compose myself.
Yeah, you sit there and compose yourself with the fact that this stuff doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real, okay?
Yeah, right now I'm feeling shame. I'm feeling embarrassment.
I'm not.
That's great for Cherry. What a shame, and what is my first deep experience of it? I wrote about it in an article. So for those of you who haven't read it, there's a link in the description. Feel free to go there and check it out. But more or less, I was like primary school age, and I had, I guess, kind of just said something bratty to my mum that was untrue. And for whatever reason, it really triggered her, and she got really angry at me. And like, it happened in the car ride, and on the, like, we were at home, and then she was in the kitchen, and like, she was just getting more and more worked up and more angry, and then kind of said like, well, my dad came home, and then he knew that he'd stepped into something, and then he like asked my mom like what happened, and my mom just turned to me and pointed at me and said, 然后这个是最坏的, which in English just means this one is like the worst. And I was sitting at the dining table eating something, and I felt like I couldn't leave. I wanted to leave.
You wanted to run away from
I wanted to run away, and I was just crying, and my dad, I just remember my dad being really silent and him not saying anything, and mum just like accusing me. And it just, for me, what I took away from that situation was I've done something wrong, almost unforgivable. And that shame was like so overwhelming. And yeah, I guess from then on, I kind of, that shame of my mum accusing me and no one coming in to like speak up for me, I thought it was just because I deserved it, because I did something wrong, right? And so that's why I then developed such an aversion to making a mistake.
Yeah.
Or doing something wrong.
As seen by a couple minutes ago when I stuffed up.
Yeah.
And the uncomfortableness that you felt, right?
Yeah.
Case in point. But I'm curious, like, what did shame feel like in that moment for you? Like, what was it telling you? What did it feel like?
It was telling me that basically you've done something wrong, so you're not enough anymore. You're not lovable. Like, you're not wanted. You're not wanted anymore.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to be loved. This is the consequence.
Pretty powerful, pretty strong beliefs there, right?
Yeah, which are all lies.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's something that I've worked through in terms of that situation, and I don't blame my mother as well. Like, clearly she didn't know how to manage her emotions, and she took it, and I triggered something in her, then she took it out on me.
Yeah.
And that's really just because she didn't have the tools to be able to deal with her emotions.
How to regulate
in
them.
a like healthy way.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't take away the fact that she hurt me, and there are consequences to that.
Yeah.
But I don't.
You don't blame her.
I don't blame her. I don't have a grudge against her.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, I can see it from her perspective. And she's apologized as well.
And it's not justifying it, right? It's seeing it from her perspective. It's not saying that was okay.
No.
It's just saying that's what happened. She made a mistake as well, and she didn't have the tools to calm herself down, to not get triggered, because no one's taught her either.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
And that's the way we look at it. It's not justifying it. It's not excusing it. It's just saying, hey, that's what happened. It doesn't mean it's okay, and it doesn't mean there's no way forward.
Yeah.
Right? You're not a victim.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, that happened, and it sucked. It hurt.
Yeah.
And then, you know, how do we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And heal. And but that's also an example of, like, why facing our emotions, understanding them, and working through them is such a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it has really serious consequences.
Yes, and they're not something that goes away just because you ignore it.
Yeah.
You know, you might feel like you're not feeling those emotions anymore, but unless you deal with them, it'll surface again, like how your mum got triggered. Like someone else will trigger you, and it'll pop right back up.
Yeah.
And you go back to the heightened state you were in when you're in that distress. The only way to move on is to actually deal with them.
Yeah.
Right? Feel them.
Yeah.
And come to peace with that.
Yeah.
Give them the attention they deserve. It's not something that goes away that by straining your, I'm just gonna, use my willpower to not feel this emotion, or beating yourself up like, oh, I'm older now, why am I still bothered by something that happened when I was a child? It doesn't work that way, right?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another reason why I guess this stuff is really important.
And why we're doing this series. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your first experience with shame?
I'm not sure. Shame is something, it's not a big one for me in the sense of like, and maybe I label shame something else in my memories, because I remember feeling embarrassed and looked down on, and all of that, but shame is not the first word that pops up for me. But I guess what's the difference between shame and embarrassment or being looked down upon?
I feel like in my mind, I connect shame and embarrassment together.
Or maybe for me, it's like I don't think of shame in the first instance because a lot of the earlier memories I have of bad things that made me feel not good and embarrassed and stuff, I don't necessarily think was my fault. Right, but shame is something, I guess, that's connected to your actions and
I guess so,
something that you've done, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, when I think of back, the earliest things that I can think of that is kind of related is like being bullied in school because I was like the only Asian kid there. Right, but it's not my fault I'm Asian.
Yeah.
And I don't see being Asian as a negative thing. So I don't feel shame. But I feel, I guess when I think back, like there's a lot of anger there, but it's not shame, right? Or being made fun of because I had to clean buildings and toilets after school since like primary school, and then people would be like, oh, you smelly, you clean toilets, blah blah blah, your family's poor, blah blah blah. Again, that's like, I feel like I've worked through the stuff, but when I was working through it, there was a lot of rage and anger and being like treated unfairly or looked down upon, but there's no shame.
So you never felt ashamed that you were a cleaner?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Well, maybe I felt embarrassed as a kid.
Yeah.
But I never believed that was wrong. So there was no shame. I was just like, oh, I wish people would stop making fun of me. But it was never like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's kind of nuanced for me, yeah.
Are you ashamed when, like, my lempi and ho and I just keep asking people stuff?
Honestly, sometimes that rears up a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my gosh, stop bothering.
And for those of you who don't know, lempi and ho is Chinese for thick-skinned. Yeah.
But when
because
you
I
do
am pretty
ask,
thick-skinned.
yeah, we're talking like in the context of like going to a supermarket and not knowing where something is, or you know, when we're finding a service for something and she's just asking all these questions, right?
Yeah.
But a little bit, I'm like, oh, are you like, is that too much? But then the consequence is always good because you find things super quick or we're super clear about what we're going into, you know, so it's not a bad thing. I think I need to be more thick-skinned in that area.
Yeah.
But the first thing, I mean, I'm sure I've felt shame through my life. I'm not like a shameless person, right? But I felt a lot of shame talking about my struggles with porn.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's a huge one. And yeah, it's not like I like mentioning it, but it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you can't work through it unless you face it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And if you want to hear more about that, we probably won't go into it today. We went into it in our episode about forgiveness.
Yep.
So we'll put a link there in the description box as well.
Yeah. But yeah, why is shame such a powerful emotion? I guess, do you think Adam and Eve felt shame when they were hiding from God after they sinned?
Yeah, because
You know,
they were...
They realized they were naked.
They realized they were naked and they were ashamed.
Yeah.
I thought about this as we were preparing for this episode, and I think for shame, it targets our self-worth. That's why it's so powerful, at least for me. And, you know, if your self-worth is like nothing, it's trashed, then how do you expect someone to continue living? You know, it's kind of like, what am I even doing here? I'm not valuable at all. It would mean nothing if I just, like, no one would care if I didn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so that's a real existential crisis for someone.
Yeah.
And I think as well, you know, there's been books before about, you know, shame cultures where it's almost like shame and honor. So shame being the way that these cultures keep society in check and in control.
Yeah.
And a lot of Asian cultures and Middle Eastern cultures actually operate in that honor and shame.
Yeah, you think of like, we joke about like, oh, you've brought dishonor on your family, but we're always joking about some Asian culture, right?
Yeah.
But it's so true, right? I guess when you were saying that, it made me realize that it's actually shame, I guess, when you're putting it in that context, is all about your performance, right?
Yeah.
All about what you do.
Yeah.
And your value is tied to what you do. So if you do something honorable and do it well, then there's honor.
Yeah.
If you do something bad or do something you shouldn't have done, then there's shame, right? Or sometimes, this is I guess, making it complicated, is sometimes you that do the right thing, people shame you for it. Because in that culture, it's weird.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I guess all Christians probably have, can relate to that if they have stood up for something they believed in, that's probably countercultural, right?
Yeah. And again, that's why we can't let
our emotions tell
control us.
Yes,
we can't let shame dictate
what is right and wrong.
What is right and wrong, and what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in that sense, I guess we should be shameless. More shameless.
Yeah. Shameless audacity.
Shameless audacity. But it's led by the truth, right? So truth comes first and then emotions.
Yeah.
But if emotions come before the truth, that's when you get into pickles, right? Yeah. How do you deal with your shame?
I think you actually, like what we were just talking about, leads quite well into that, because it is about having objective truth and believing objective truth, right? If we think about my situation with my mum in that sense, like the objective truth that I told myself to heal from it was that my worth is not determined by what my mother says about me or by what anyone says about me.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. It is determined by God.
Yes.
And Jesus died on the cross for me.
Yes.
That's how much I'm worth.
Yes, that's right. As your value is determined by God.
Yeah.
And he decided to pay for you with his life. So you are worth the life of God. And that is not dependent on what you do because he did it for you.
That's right.
Through grace, right? For free.
Yeah.
Before you knew him, before you did anything for him, he already did that for you.
Yeah.
So there is nothing, the truth is there's nothing that can be a threat to your value. Except you can not believe the truth and decide, no, my value is
that's
what
right.
I do.
Yeah. And so all that to say, like, in order to deal with shame, first you need an objective source of self-worth and value.
Yeah.
And for us, that's Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Right? That's God.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, you're not going to find any other source of unconditional love in this world apart from God. And we're talking unconditional. And then second, connected to that is we have to realize that shame only exists because we believe what other people say about us. And so it's understanding that people don't get to define us.
That's good.
Only God gets to define us. And I think people who care a lot about what other people think, just something that I, still sometimes struggle with, it's easier for us to step into like that shame space.
Yeah.
Because we attach so much weight to the opinions of other people.
Yeah.
So it's working on getting your approval from God instead of others.
Well. So that's a hard one, eh? Because sometimes the approval of other people feels more real.
More tangible.
Than approval from God.
Yeah.
But that's, again, we've got to remind ourselves of the truth, right?
And speaking of, like, God and shame, why do you think shame keeps us away from God? Just thinking about Adam and Eve. They hid from God.
I almost said hidden, but yes, they hid.
They hid.
They hid from God.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just like it goes back to my values and my performance thing. I'm not worthy to be loved anymore. I'm not worthy to. They're not. God's not going to like me anymore. He's not going to want me anymore because of what I did. And we not just Adam and Eve, but we all do that, right? We all like if we make a mistake or we sin, we feel like we can't go to God until unless I don't do that for a couple of days and then I feel good again. And it's like, I'm clean, I can go to God. And that's getting the order wrong, right? You go to God to be cleaned. You go to Jesus to be cleaned. You step. I forgot who said this. I think it was Stan. But
Our pastor.
Yeah, he said you don't clean yourself before you go into the shower. Right? You go to the shower to get clean.
Yeah.
And in that analogy, Jesus is the shower. God is the shower, right? And I think it helps to know how God sees you when you sin. And it doesn't change how he feels about you. Because Jesus covers our sins. In the sense, when he sees us, he sees Jesus. So when he sees us, even though we're not perfect, he sees perfection. And he is not like looking at us like we're dirty and smelly and rotting, and like he's got to help us because he's God and he's holy, but he's doing it like kind of like at arm's length and being like, oh man, I can barely stand to be here, but because I'm God and I'm loving, I got to help you. It's not like that at all. And the truth is, even when he sees us in our dirty and rotting state and we reek of sin and death, there is nothing that pleases his heart more than when we let him come and embrace us and clean us. And he does it willingly. He does it with gladness. The Bible says, when someone is saved, there's rejoicing in heaven. And I always imagine the father in the parable of the prodigal son, and his son, who ran away with his inheritance, squandered it all on, basically a modern term would be hookers and cocaine, right? Because it's very specific about what he spent it on.
Yeah.
And then he got to a state where he was living with swine, which in the Jewish culture is very unclean.
It's like the lowest of the rung.
Yeah, that's why they don't eat pork, right? But he was living with swine, eating the food of the swine because he couldn't get any other food. And when he came home, his father rushed out to embrace him, right? And clothed him in the best clothes and cleaned him and, slaughtered the fattest cow to welcome him. That's how God feels about us.
Yeah.
And when we remember that and believe that, the shame still comes, but it doesn't stop you from going back to God, right?
It doesn't control you anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't limit you.
Yeah.
And I think, as you were talking, it just kind of, to deal with these things, we really need to have a correct view of who God is. Yes,
and how he views us, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think we like to put, our thoughts on God and be like, oh, God must be like this. But let's listen to how he says he's like, right? That's the only way you know what someone's like. You let them introduce themselves.
Yeah.
It'd be quite unreasonable for me to just meet someone a few times, or I don't even talk to them. And I just look at them. Yeah, but I just assume they're like they'll act like this and do that. It's just like, how do you know?
Yeah.
That's where it starts. Yeah, how you deal with shame.
Yeah.
And then your mistakes, like you still make mistakes, but they're no longer fatal.
Yeah.
And then you just learn from them, and you start growing really quickly because making mistakes is basically the only way you learn and grow, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let us know if you have any other questions about shame. But in terms of fear, so you wrote this one, and you had some very specific scenarios in your article about things that you were afraid of.
Yeah, I don't know
like
why.
being kidnapped, being chased in a medieval dungeon.
And
I just wonder, where do these come from?
Where do they come from? Yeah, honestly, one of the clearest things I remember about my childhood is that it was full of fear.
Yeah.
And the kidnapping thing, if I like really think back, I think it started from like I would always watch TV with my grandparents growing up because I lived with my mum and my and her parents, and they would always watch the news. And I don't remember much, but the one thing I do remember, and maybe because it is tied to the emotion of fear, was news about child traffickers and kidnappers. And that was when I was like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But it kind of left an imprint on me. And I started being real scared of being kidnapped. And that didn't go away for a long time. Yeah.
Be careful what you allow your kids to watch, G.
You know, I'm not sure if they ever said things like, oh, you should, you got to listen to us and do, you know. Otherwise you'll get kidnapped.
You know,
That
threats.
sort of stuff, yeah. Or maybe they said it when me and my cousin, I grew up with my cousin, right, Doris. Yeah. We're 3 months apart, so we're basically the same age. And I think we sneaked out of home once to go to the convenience store to buy candy.
You told me this.
And then after that, I think they were like, don't do that again. Otherwise you'll get kidnapped and blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure. But that fear was there.
So did you guys get the candy?
Yeah, we did. 2 little toddlers, you know, just going to the dairy and being like, you know, I want that one.
Cute.
Yeah, I don't know where the other fear comes from. Like the repeated night. I used to get repeated nightmares. Like of the same nightmare. When I was like, I think it started when I was 5. But I was running in a dungeon, like a medieval dungeon lit by flame torches. And there was this demon that looked like your classic devil portrayal with red face. Kind of like Darth Maul's face from Star Wars. But with a forked tail. And it was chasing me, but it was like crawling on the walls and the roof. And I was just running in this dungeon that was like a maze. Like the catacombs in Paris, basically. Oh, I had that dream so many times, and I don't know why, but it freaked me out.
When was the last time you had it, G?
Oh, I can't remember, but like I stopped pretty young, but it was long enough and repeated enough times for me to be like, oh, like, what the heck? And then
I don't want this for my life.
No, and then because of that, I was scared of the dark for years. I think only when I was like 11 or 12, I started sleeping all the lights off. But it was just, so much fear.
How much does fear drive your decision making now? Because in the article you mentioned how, you know, those fears changed to like fear of failure and stuff like that.
Yeah. The fear of people. You know, I basically, after starting intermediate, which is 11 years old here in New Zealand, I basically stopped talking. Never said another word in class.
Yeah.
And now I think back and it's like, okay, that's classic, like pretty hardcore social anxiety. Like I'd be sweating, it felt like cold sweat and just being so terrified of a classroom environment or like being in a space with a lot of people. So it shifted to fear of people. I think maybe because of what happened during primary school and all that bullying that we mentioned in the beginning. And fear of failure comes from my family being in a lot of debt since I was born, basically. And it always felt like if I fail, we'll never get out of it. But it also comes in the form of like, if I fail, will not survive, will die, and my parents will always be grumpy and mad, and like they always are. And we had this problem before starting this podcast, right? Like we're both tired, and I perceived that you were a little bit unhappy with something, and I immediately was like, oh, it's because I'm tired, I'm not doing enough, therefore she's upset. Like it's still affecting me a little bit, that fear of is that fear of failure? I guess it's fear of failure and fear of letting you down.
Yeah.
Fear of being useless, almost, right?
Because that's the thing, emotions are always tied to a belief.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's right.
Probably should have mentioned that at the beginning.
That's okay. That's gotten a lot better though, right? Like I'm no longer anxious around people, only specific scenarios, but it's not like it makes me run out of the room anymore.
It's not unbearable anymore.
It's not unbearable anymore.
Yeah. And you literally this past week just like went back into a classroom environment.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. And it was uncomfortable, but it was fine.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would have been able to tell I was uncomfortable, but it was tiring.
Yeah.
And I don't fear failure anymore because God, in His wisdom, I guess, made me fail a lot. Well, no, it's not that He made me fail, but He let me experience failure so much that it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, exposure therapy.
Exposure therapy. I've failed in so many things, but that's okay. I'm not scared of it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have started this if I feared failure or feared what people thought of us, right? Because we're sharing some pretty raw and honest things, and we don't care how many people see it, and that's not the defining of success to us, right?
Yeah. Or what people think of what we've shared. I think obviously like constructive criticism and everything like we'll take on board.
Oh yeah.
But it's kind of like this is our experience and this is the truth for us, and if people have judgments about things that we've done or our own personal experiences, like they can have their judgments, but
they're welcome to.
But we believe the truth.
Yeah, and that is
that they can't define us.
No, only God can, right?
Yeah.
They can describe us.
Yeah.
They can point things out. They can say things, but we take it back to God. And there's a thing, right? Like if someone says something and you take it to God and examine it, it's like, is that true? If it's true, take it on board.
Yeah.
Right, and change, improve. If it's not true, then why?
Just leave it.
Then it shouldn't bother you, because if it's not true, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right. Only exists if you allow it to. And so, either way, it's fine.
Yeah.
And in fact, if someone says something even if it's harsh, but if it's true, you should be thanking them, right? And be like, well, thank you for the feedback.
Can you say it with a bit of tone next time?
Can I give you some feedback on your feedback? So it's more palatable, but you should thank them that they cared enough to at least point things out. Right?
Yeah.
And that's, I think, when you enter unstoppable growth, right? Because you're not worried about how people say things or what they say.
Yeah.
And you're secure, right? I'd say we're pretty secure people now. There's always more to work on, but oh man, we've changed so much, right? Since beginning to live in the truth of God, where our value is not at the mercy of other people's opinions or what we do. It's been life-changing. Yeah. So yeah, fear doesn't really just drive my decision making anymore. But that's because I've truly experienced God. Nothing really scares me. That's a big thing to say.
Yeah.
Big statement to make. But all the things we've been experiencing so far, with like my parents potentially losing their house, going bankrupt, my dad's cancer, my sudden diabetes diagnosis, none of it's really scared me.
No.
And the belief behind the not being scared is God is in control. If you truly believe that, God is in control and that he wants the best for you. But God's best is not what we think is best.
Yeah.
Like, because we could think the best is business continues to thrive, get rich, more rich, more rich, more rich, more rich, and everyone's healthy and everything's good. But what if that keeps you away from God forever? Because you think all you need is money and health.
Yeah.
Right? And I've seen so many changes in my dad now since the cancer diagnosis that, are things about his eternal character, what he brings after death. And we've had conversations like, even if he dies, we know where he's going and we'll see him again soon.
Yeah.
So we'll miss him, but it's not like forever apart. You
Exactly.
know?
Yeah.
So, and that helps me stay grounded, stay not fearful. And I think in the article I mentioned, the antidote to fear is not to strain your courage muscle. Like, I just got to be more courageous. I can't be scared, blah, blah, blah. It's to have a more accurate perception of things, because how you perceive things affects what you believe, which affects what you're feeling, right? And the example that was from the Bible I used was the story of Elisha and his servant, where they were surrounded by the enemy army.
Yeah.
And the servant was scared out of his mind because just the two of them. And Elisha prayed for God to open his eyes, and he saw that actually there was a bigger army with chariots of fire surrounding the army surrounding them.
Would have been pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, then you see like, hey, actually they're the ones outnumbered. Then you stop being fearful straight away, right? Because you're seeing things as it is. That's not about straining that courage muscle, like white knuckling it.
Yeah.
And I guess that's how you do it for all this stuff. And the ones that, like, if you truly believe God is in control of everything and that he wants the best for you, then there is nothing to fear. But if you truly believe it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not saying we can make dumb decisions and then be like, oh no, but God's got me, so nothing bad will happen. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
Right? You have to bear the consequences of your decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just on that with fear, so many people in the Bible struggled with it.
Yeah.
Like the greats, if we call in the Hall of Faith, Abraham was afraid that, of the Egyptian king, Pharaoh or whatever.
Well, he was afraid twice that because his wife was so hot, he would die because of her.
Yeah,
right?
so he was like, she's my sister.
She's my sister.
Moses was afraid and, didn't want to lead the Israelites out of Egypt and was like, I stutter.
Yeah. I'm a murderous shepherd. What do I know?
Yeah. So many people were afraid. Peter was afraid. He had that bold courage to step out onto the water, and then he saw the wind and the waves and was like, oh no.
Yeah. And then he denied Jesus 3 times.
So it's not I just want to make it clear that it's not a matter of getting to a point where I'm no longer afraid of nothing or whatever, but it's a journey, and if we are walking with God and if we are choosing to believe the truth is that the more we go into these situations, the easier it will be to remind ourselves there's no need to be afraid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And come what may, you can face it together with God. The Bible says a lot of times, do not be afraid, do not fear, do not fear. And the way
I am with you.
Yeah, that's the thing. The very way forward is to remember that for I am with you, that God is with you. It doesn't end at don't be afraid, because then it's be like,
strain your muscle.
Yeah, strain that muscle and just work hard not to be afraid, right? But it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And we talked a lot about my fears. I guess, how does fear show up for you?
I would say probably fear and shame are two strong emotions, driving emotions, have been at least in my life. I think, I really feared feeling ashamed. So it meant I feared the opinions of other people.
Yeah. It's just like I'm just laughing because you said you feared feeling ashamed, and then I was like, yes, and some people feel ashamed when they feel fear.
It links. And so because I feared what other people thought of me, or even just their responses, it meant that to deal with that, I tried to manage the emotions of other people. That was my survival technique, because if the thing is, if you don't believe the truth about a situation, you will have to resort to other ways to keep yourself safe, right?
Coping mechanism.
A coping mechanism, a protection mechanism. So my protection mechanism was then, okay, well, if I don't want people to respond badly, then I need to manage their emotions. And that happened for like my parents, and it was very tiring. And especially in the beginning of our relationship too, I felt like I was learning how to not manage Jerry's emotions.
Yeah.
I think it was never like I felt like I knew I didn't have to, but there was a big gap between that and reality. Right. And it really took a lot of experiences with Jerry for me to really learn and be okay with, like, if I say something or if I do something and Jerry goes off the rails, if I've said it kindly and with love and it's the truth, I don't bear any responsibility for how he is reacting.
I mean, you don't bear any responsibility for how I react anyway, no matter how you say it.
Yeah,
right?
But it's kind of like I've done all I can. There's nothing else I could have done. Like, what I mean is, like, if I have said it in a harsh tone, then obviously I need to bear the responsibility of, like...
Oh, yes, I see what you're saying. Yes,
apologizing for that.
But, I mean, bearing the responsibility for you to grow in that area. But then, we always choose our reaction, right? Yeah. Because I could have chosen not to go off the rails and stuff. Yeah. But also, I don't really know what you're referring to here. In terms of, like, have you said something that I've taken not well that was good for me? Something?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but what I was thinking of actually was that experience on our honeymoon in Japan with the
$1 teas.
The $1 teas, and
that was one of my biggest, like,
off the rails.
Like, going when she means off the rails, I don't start yelling and smashing things and cursing. I just go quiet, and in my head I'm spiraling like crazy.
And then Jerry just blames himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably should have prefaced that.
No, that's
with
okay.
The context.
We haven't told that story, have we?
I think we have.
Oh, okay, anyway.
But
it's not important.
Yeah. We laugh about it now. But the main thing was, like, why I kind of thought about that is because I wasn't in that situation. I wasn't actually honest with Jerry, and then
you gaslight me.
And then to protect myself, then I gaslighted him. To manage his emotions, I then was like, oh, I'll gaslight him.
I don't think you even realized, like,
no, it wasn't a conscious thing, but like subconsciously, my brain just was grasping at straws.
Basically,
right?
She said something that I got upset at, and then to make her so, like,
he wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, so try and, like, fix that and make it not upset. She was like, "That's not what I mean. I didn't mean what I said." But I'm too logical a person to be like, oh, okay, you didn't mean it. I'm just like, that's what you said.
Yeah, and he wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
But you know what? I learned a lot from that experience. And
so
I think I've grown so much from that experience.
We did. We both did, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've both come a long way.
Yeah.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Funny.
I think we've kind of covered most things really. I don't know if you wanted to add anything else.
I liked how you were saying, that, what did you say about fear, and that something's here and something's here?
Oh, right. So, like, I know that I don't have to manage people's emotions.
Yeah.
But the reality of how that works, there's like a gap.
Yeah, so this is your knowledge.
Yeah.
This is your action.
Yeah.
Right? And in another way, we could say, with everything we've talked about today, how do you get from knowledge to belief? What you know and what you believe is not the same thing, right? Your beliefs control your actions. Your knowledge doesn't necessarily.
Yeah.
And the way that I think God has shown us over and over again how to get from knowledge to belief is through experience. That is what bridges that gap. And you don't experience unless you walk with God, right?
Yeah.
Unless you step out. It's not about reading the Bible for theory. It's talking to God like he's your friend.
Yeah.
And the beauty about all that is you don't have to like trust 100% straight away. That's not what God is asking for either. But at least give him a chance. Like dip your toe in the water. You don't have to jump in straight away.
Yeah.
But as you dip your toe in the water, you experience more and more of God's love and how patient and kind and how much he loves you and how he wants the best for you. You start walking slowly in the water, right?
Yeah. That's a good metaphor.
Yeah. And it's been a fun experience, I think, growing with God, albeit painful at first. But it's only painful because you've got to let go of this the falsehoods that you've been clenching onto so much, right?
Yeah.
These are at one point they're your survival mechanisms. So they're like, it's vital you hold on to these things. It's just that they're not true anymore.
Yeah.
And so of course it's going to be painful when you first let it go. It's kind of like surgery, eh? Like it's painful to get cut open, but you've got to remove those tumors.
Yeah.
Right? And the recovery can be painful, but it's good for you.
Because those tumors are killing you.
Yes.
And in the same way that the misbeliefs or the lies that you believe are killing you.
Yeah.
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 Anyway, I have nothing else to say.
Awesome. Cool. So that was Fear and Shame, guys.
Yeah.
Join us next month for some more emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.